Hello, this is Laura Walker, Art with a Soul. This is my first Dibs live video before I head to Michigan. I'm going to do 2 shows in Michigan, but this is the only first Dibs live that I'm going to do before those shows. Okay, let's get started with the frogs. My frog smalls and my mouse smalls are 1 for $30, 2 for $50, 3 for $70. So we have a computer girl frog, computer boy frog. They're made from scrap parts on Luan cast-offs from Leldon's art process. Here we have a scientific or mechanical frog. And then this one is a deep sea diver, scuba frog. If you want anything that you see, you need to comment that you want it. Send me a message or comment. It will be cross-posted, so, you know, whoever I see first. And then you need to do this by Thursday night because this show does start Friday morning, even though I thought it started Saturday. I guess it starts Friday at lunch. Okay, here's a little construction frog. He's got a saw and a screw and a hard hat and a little reflective vest. And then I have 2 policeman frogs, female and male. That's all the frogs I made for this upcoming show. I really was working hard to prepare as much as possible because I won't be able to paint much or bring much with me to paint in between these 2 shows in Michigan. Here are 2 clown mice, girl and a boy. And then we have a construction mouse with his little saw, his screw, and then an artist mouse. I sold the other artist mouse, so I thought it'd be fun to keep one in my booth. Oh, that's a boy artist mouse. I should have shown these 2 together. I have a boy artist and a girl artist. My girl mice have blush and see these staples. I take old staples that I pull up from the backs of frames and use them as mouse eyelashes. And their tails are guitar strings and their whiskers are just scrap wire. Okay, and then I have 2 motorcycle mice, a boy and a girl. Okay, we have a fireman mouse and a preacher mouse. I like his little tie made out of little zip ties. I don't use zip ties. I like to use reusable elastic toggle-y things, but I pick them up whenever I'm at festivals and I see them as we're breaking down and the artist next to me leaves like a pile of them. I pick them up and use them in my art. So 2 police mice, a girl and a boy. There we go. Like I said, the mice are $30 for 1, 2 for $50, and then 3 for $70. These are lawyer or business mice. You have the girl, you have the boy. I went online and downloaded some cartoony, like, pictures for children of occupations, jobs. So that's helping me get new ideas. And we have a little teacher mouse. All right, that's it on the mice. Now I'm moving on to the cats I was able to make. I sold quite a few cats at the last show. So the small cats are $35. I have 2 small cats. This one is a Siamese because I sold the 2 Siamese I made before. It's on a paint can, and these are tote lids, the ears are, and I screw them in there so we're not relying on glue and scrap wire for the whiskers. And this is a tuxedo cat, is the other small one. And this one, I need to tie a string to the back, so, or a wire, so it can hang, but this is a thick plastic lid and then tote lids. So those are the two small cats that are $35 each. The medium-sized cats are $40. Here's a tuxedo-ish cat, black and white cat, ready to be hung. This is on scrap Luan from Leldon. And then a gray and white cat with yellow eyes. Two more medium-sized ones, $40 each. Purely yellow cat. And a gray striped cat. This is on a plastic lid. It's on the wooden scrap. And we have two more tabby yellow cats. One has the white, what's this part called? Mouth area, muzzle, and then white around the eyes. And then this one is all yellow with yellow eyes. Okay. And then we have two large cats. The two large cats are $45 each. Another Siamese cat. And a gray striped cat. This is on a container, a food container lid, because it's split. Like I think one of the edges that attached it to the lid split, so use that. And this is a plastic lid. Like I said, all screwed together, super thick paint. And the whiskers, that's a weird whisker coming out of an ear. The whiskers are from guitar strings. All right, that's it on the cats. Moving on. I focused on, well, I had to do a new blue mousse. I've got to do a new blue mousse. I'll show you that at the end. But I was trying to make as many of these paint palette smalls as I could because they are very, very popular. They sell quickly. Here's a cow with flowers. This one's $100. And you see this one's on a textured background. The texture on these come from my paint palettes when they get filled with paint. So it's a very sustainable practice. Then I made two possums. Scrap wood. They are $40 each. The boys is a little bit bigger than the girl. And then I did three rabbits. They are $45 each. These two have the textured backgrounds. We have a girl and a boy. See how big they are? And then I didn't have enough time to wait on filling more paint palettes, so I just painted this wood and did another boy rabbit. So there's one boy on smooth and then a boy and a girl on the rough background. $45 each. And we have three foxes. They're all on filled paint palettes. They are $50 each. I have a girl and a boy. And another boy. So the boys are very similar. You'll see these little flowers that I put on my paint palette animals. Sometimes they're what I pull up from a container, acrylic paint. It gets a little dried part around the little spout. I like to save those up and use them as flowers for my animals. They're just a fun shape. All right. I was on a flower kick last time, and so I decided to do that some more this time. Ladybugs for $50. Very thick. Very, very nice, thick juiciness. So that's this one, 50. And I already sold one of these hummingbirds, so here's one hummingbird, $35. Super thick paint, ready to be hung on Luan. Then I have 3 bees with flowers. Number 1, they're 35 each. Number 2, 1 and 2. And 3. They're all ready to be hung on scrap pieces of wood. $35. About the size of my head. Okay. That's it on the not abstracts, but on the paint palette pieces. I was able to do this fun little piece. I call her Aroma La Pew. She's size 16 by 12, $150. This was a mass-produced, you know, like printed reproduction on like MDF wood. And I added the skunk, and then I textured, I don't know if you could tell, but I added texture to these parts of the shoe, and then a little shoe jewel. I'm using up all of these patterned or painted backgrounds. I'm going to switch over to making it all, you know, from beginning to end and not reusing those anymore as soon as I use up what I have in my studio. Okay, so then I did these 3. A friend of mine found these 3 metal wall hangings that had instruments on them. And I've been saving them up for a while and finally figured out what I wanted to do. This is a small blue heron. Yeah, that's the name of the kind. Small blue heron, and plays a violin. A friend suggested Heron Hayfitz. He's apparently a talented violin player. This one is 30 inches tall, 14 inches wide, only $210. Of course, if you need it shipped, it'll have to be more than that, but that's a really low price. I was impressed with how quickly I was able to do that. That's how I price my art, how much time I spend on it. And I did all 3 of these together, and that helps me go quicker. So this one is the same price, $210. This one is a tri-colored heron. I named him Wycliffe Heron. He's 35 inches tall when you count, you know, all his fabulous feather crown stuff. 14 inches wide. Look at these feathers. So luscious. I think these are going to go quickly. To be as tall as they are for that price and on a metal background, which is super cool. I hope they can stay together, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then I did a sandhill crane, and I really love the feathers on this one. This is Coltrane crane. 30 inches tall, 16 inches wide, $210 plus, like I said, shipping. Look at the feathers. I love this marbly texture. So cool. So here he is. And when I leave the sides like this, the sides of the surface of the painting, I will use a plastic tote lid to give it stiffness, because this paint is too flexible to do that without some sort of foundation. Okay, last painting, my 18th blue moose. Many of you have been helping me with my art on social media, which I appreciate. This one is on a canvas that I got from the thrift store. I got 3 new canvases at the thrift store, and this is the 3rd one that I've used up. It's called The Future Beckons. He's my 18th blue moose, size 36 by 48, $750. Here we go. I used Silver Leaf for his background. I thought since my last blue moose was a little more feminine with the lavender antlers, that this time I would go more masculine and very more serene too, that silver leaf background. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining. You can rewatch it if you came in later. Lynette Hill, you have got to send me a message. I have been thinking about you. Hi. I haven't heard from you in a long time. Let's see. There's several. Deborah Fuller Clark. Hello, Deborah. Thank you guys for coming on here live. Sorry, it's right towards the end, but you can go back and rewatch it. If any of you see something that you want, just let me know, like I said, before Thursday night, before I go to bed Thursday night, because Friday morning I'll be setting up my show and then starting a festival, so I won't see my social media. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.